Welcome! We're going to talk about standing meditation right now and the elements of proper standing meditation. And I have my little friend Skelly here to help you see a little more clearly what I'm talking about. First, I want to talk about the bottom half from the hips down. And what you want to focus on in the feet, and I'll just show you Skelly's foot. You want to feel between the first toe and the second toe. So the big toe and the second toe, the joint right there, you want to feel what's going on and imagine that you're rooting down or you're corkscrewing down a root from this spot. So that's step one. So first, reaching down with both of your feet. This is called the bubbling well. And then you want to make sure that your knees are slightly bent, because if they're locked, there is a muscle that engages and moves the bones so they close off the energy. So you want to just have them bent a little bit. They don't need to be over bent, they just need to be a little bit bent. Or other words, soft knees. And then you want to feel like you're kind of sitting back a little bit. Not extreme, but just a little bit. So you want to have a lot of the weight is on the front of the feet. But then there's some on the heel, there's some on the outer edge of the foot. So here, the heel, and the bubbling well. So you have like a tripod on each foot. Soft knees, sitting back. Like as if you're about to sit on a stool, but you haven't made it to the stool yet, so you're just kind of sitting back onto it. And then this may just sound completely strange to anyone who has not dabbled in energy perception. But the idea is that this is your femur. It's the longest, biggest bone in the body, the femur. And on the outside of the femur, the joint of the hip is a very strange joint. And this outside edge is called the acetabulum. And if you feel on your hips, there's a hard part right there. That's your acetabulum. So the idea is that you're opening. And so you imagine these acetabulums or the outside edge of your femurs opening a book, opening down the legs. Another way you can imagine this is that corkscrew idea, but the corkscrew is opening out and around, out and around, out and around, all the way down to the feet. So to really get a feel for that, we're going to first imagine that you're closing in. So anyone who's experienced trauma, this is the norm. And so you want to really kind of feel this so that then when you open, you can tell the difference. So we'll do that one more time. Close, open. And you've got the soft knees. You're reaching down through the bubbling wells. You have your tripods, outer edges of the feet, bubbling wells and heels, all reaching down, opening the femurs, spiraling the energy down your legs, and sitting back or sitting down on a bench. So there's a lot going on. And that alone could keep your mind busy. So, upper half of the body. You want to think about the natural curves of the spine. So the lower curve is forward just a little. So if you've got a big curve, and I'll just stand to the side, if you have a big curve going on, that's too much. So you want to have that sitting feel, and you're not like flattening, you're allowing these natural curves. So the curve of the sacrum curves down, the low back curves in, and then the thoracic curves out, and the neck curves in. So it's very much like a wave. It goes like this. So let's see if you can feel that. Another way to think about it is all of these pairs of ribs. You have 12 pairs of ribs, and the back two are kind of short and they don't go all the way to the front. Those are your floating ribs. But no matter what, you want to feel flexibility in this region. So even though it's very stiff and there's a lot of joints, you want to feel the expansion of your breath into the back of your ribs, out to the sides. And we always kind of have a little movement in the front. But you want to feel this roundness all the way around. And you're lengthening, but you're not losing your natural curves. So I like to kind of think of reaching the very crown of my head up and allowing the curves to be there as nature intended them to be. All right, so we got the spine figured out, and now we focus on the arms. So the arms, we don't have nerves showing on the skeleton because this is basically just a skeleton, but in the armpit, there's a lot of nerves that run through here. So it's best to give them space. A lot of us are typing or driving, and we have this held in. We're pinching off a bunch of flow. And so you want to get the flow going. If you're feeling really strong, you have your arms out in front of the chest. And if that feels like it's a little much, you have your arms round, but more as if you're holding a beach ball or something down low. And if your arms get really tired, then you have your hands on your side. And that's still giving you the space in the armpit. It's still giving you the ability to feel the shoulders. But for somebody who has shoulder injuries, this one might be the best to start with, just so you can let all of this be relaxed and still get the flow in the armpits. But I'm going to start here. So from the bottom to the top, reaching the feet down, thinking about the tripods on the feet. Knees are soft. Sitting down on a stool. Breathing through the whole spine. Lengthening but not losing the curves. Rounding the arms, relaxing the shoulders down. Spiraling open the femurs. Relax your forehead. Relax your eyes, relax your jaw. Relax the ears. Neck is nice and long. Doing your best to relax. Relax chest. Relaxed, but yet tall. We want a tall chest, reaching the collarbones up. So we'll just take a couple breaths to work with the collarbone. So as you inhale, you reach up the collarbone. Imagine that you're getting picked up from your collarbone. And then you relax back to neutral. One more inhale, reach up the collarbone. And exhale, relax back to neutral. And at any point in time, you're welcome to practice that collarbone stretch, because you have to move the energy of the muscles around the collarbone, because a lot of us are here and this gets short and tight, and back here gets long and stretched out. So we have to counteract that by reaching the collarbone up and then letting yourself find neutral. Neutral being the natural curves of the spine, reaching the crown up, rooting the feet down, opening, spiraling the energy down the femurs. So I'm going to take 10 slow breaths, and I'll be quiet. So while we're taking these 10 breaths, really feel into these elements that I've just shared with you. Two more breaths. And if you'd like to continue with the standing meditation, please do. This is a great practice. It's something that when you do this for 10 minutes a day as a practice, as a training, then when you're out and about and you're standing in line, or you're at a party and start to feel awkward, or there's so many ways that we're standing out in the world. And this is a great way, this training is a great way to feel these elements. Feel the element of the opening femurs. Feel the element of proper alignment of the spine. Feel the chest and in neutral rather than sunk or raised too high. Feeling the forehead's soft and open, receptive. Breathing fully into the lungs, being rooted in your feet. These are all great singular elements, and all together they create a great practice. And when you're out and about, you can just notice. I notice for myself as someone who has worked many years to recover from PTSD, that my natural is to have the closed femurs and a tight stomach. And I have to really think about having a neutral stomach, not loose, but not extremely tight either, and not having the femurs rolled in, but to actually just find neutral and roll that energy down my legs and feel rooted. This for me has been hugely healing and helpful in my own social discomforts, and helped me to feel more comfortable in all kinds of social settings. And we are social beings. We are meant to be tribal animals, and we have to deal with where we are in the world now and how we're evolving, and find that comfort level, because we're in this place of being separate and working in cubicles or driving a truck or whatever it is. We're not in that tribe that we were meant to be in. And so then trying to be in a group feels awkward. But if we can find that comfort in our own body, then we can get over that awkwardness and find the comfort in being in the tribe. So I encourage you to try this every day for at least a week, possibly 40 days, or you could go for it and do it for 100 days. But you can reference this video, and I'm sure there's other good standing videos out there that you can reference to learn more. But yeah, I encourage you to try standing meditation. It's a beautiful practice, and may you have a wonderful time training your mind.